I wanted to talk about the evolution of the media agency, and you guys have been at it for quite some time in terms of embracing data and all sorts of sophisticated platforms and the development of Xaxis and all the other brilliant things, all that stuff you've been doing. And but it's interesting to learn about the M platform and sort of what that means and why now, and sort of what the utility is for your clients, for your member agencies, and so forth.
So when I think about the question of maybe why now and what's the utility and what does it mean for clients and for agencies, the way I think about the platforms and the initiative we have within GroupM at the moment is we're trying to address decades of industry evolution. It's probably the politest way of putting it. And to put it in context, and I won't go all the way back to like the first commercial TV ad for a baseball game outside New York, but if you think about the first banner ad, whether it was sort of 93 or 94, depending on who claims to have been the first, or CPCs invented in 99, or whether it was sort of probably Outcast in 02, the first paid search ad before they bought by Yahoo, and then 2004 Severin sold the first social ad on thefacebook.com as it was known at the time, and 2006 when you've got that YouTube thing before they were bought by Google, they sold the first paid video ad, and 2009 Kim Kardashian, $10,000 for a paid tweet, 2010 the year of mobile, 2011 the year of mobile, 2012 the year of mobile, but sort of every 2 years there's been another thing, and we as an industry, every time there's a new thing, we build a new vertical with its own language, with its own tools, with its own currency, with its own systems, with its own components that turn it into almost another silo. And it's funny, you almost joke that when one of those silos earns its Lumascape, it's like a badge of coming of age. It's now a real thing. It's got a Lumascape and it's got its own thing. But by doing that, it's illustrated that we as an industry, in trying to learn each thing, create isolation, create separation, and create a break in the consumer experience. So if we think about consumers, and consumers with a finger are seamlessly swiping and moving through all those things I described, and we trying to connect consumers with advertisers have built all these different vertical silos and separations, it's counterintuitive. So what we're trying to do at the moment within GroupM is be followed and inspired by the consumer and really think about that horizontal sort of swipe and move across all these things and build them together that we can understand that consumer behavior and can connect brands with it. So to do that, you need a foundation where you think about technology, you think about data sources, you think about applications, and you think about the collective intelligence it takes to help inform and help any team trying to help any client solve a business problem through media. So in a nutshell, a platform is just what we build as the platform upon which smart people help solve a client's business problem, full stop. And that platform is technology, data, people, and expertise. And that's the coming together of all these disparate elements into one seamless horizontal utility, back to the word you use. So we provide utility to our clients and to the agency teams.
And what about data and first party? I know your clients have tremendous data. There's all sorts of other data that's available, that's coming online out of the back of smart TVs.
There is
and
so much
all
data.
Sorts of things.
Yeah.
What is exciting to you, or what are the problems, or what is the sort of data that you would like to have onto your platform?
So when we think about data in this world, and sort of if we're going to understand the consumer behavior across the range of everything we do, we need to know as much as we possibly can about what that consumer thinks, feels, behaves, what they do, how they act, what they buy. There's an interesting thing in my mind that I'm a little sort of off the industry here, but a lot of clients and agencies talk about first-party data and they talk about third-party data, and it's almost that argument about both of us arguing if it's my data. In the first instance, we've got to remember it's the consumer's data, and I think we've forgotten that it's consumer first and we only have their data by their own permission. So I'd almost rather first party is it's the consumer's data, and then what we do with it comes after that. So that's the first point. The second bit is that within that data from all these sources, we have to think about how we deploy it. If we use that data to improve the experience of that consumer, they'll allow us to have access to the data and we'll make it better and we'll make their experience better. If we don't respect their data, if we don't add value through their data, their own experience, we're not going to get it. So I think the data debate has been a bit of an us and them. It's like two jocks in a bar trying to work out who's going to chat up the girl in the bar. The reality is the lady in the bar can decide who she'd like to spend her time with, and it's not the choice of these two people. So we've got to change the dynamic, we've got to understand better and respect better the consumer's data. Of all the ranges of bits of data available, the more we can understand about the broader profile of a consumer, their needs, their attitudes, their requirements, I think the more we can tailor our messages to them to make them more valuable. If we don't provide utility, we don't deserve their attention. And so I think that's really where the exchange comes in. One thing I expect to see more of in the data area, when it's been this legacy conversation first and third, I like this idea of closed second. And I think there's going to be more closed second conversations going on where we get to the stage where you may know you're a retailer, you may know about your customer when she or he is in your store. I know what they're doing when they're in the other people's store and when they're on TV and they're online. My first, your first coming together is closed second. And there actually may be another advertiser who is not in your same category but has the same consumer group who has their view of those people as well. Wouldn't you want to join them to the closed second? So I think this idea of almost like single source closed second clubs is what we're going to see more and more, where we don't want it to be completely public and available to our competitors as third-party data, but if we make it too isolated within our own narrow set, we can't activate it. So I think that the thing we'll start to see in data is this emergence of closed second clubs of data. It's going to prove very interesting, and the more we know about a consumer, the more we can help earn the right and communicate appropriately to them. There's one line that I mentioned to a client the other day. I said, in this competitive world, we had Mark Pritchard saying that there isn't enough growth and there's too much competition. I said, whoever knows the most about the consumer and has the mechanism to engage with that consumer will win. If you know the most but you can't engage, you're not going to win. If you know you've got the mechanism to engage but you don't know the most, you will not win. You have to bring these two things together. So that's really for us how we're trying to talk to our clients and our teams. Know the most about the consumer and have the mechanism to bring that to life, to engage with that consumer. You do that, you will win. And that's what we're trying to do with End Platform. Bring it all together so we can win in this increasingly complicated, complex world.